Hare Krishna devotees, welcome to our Srimad Bhagavatam Stuti series. Today is shloka number 33 of Bhishma Dev's glorification of the Lord from chapter 9 of Canto 1. Tribhuvana kamanam tamalavarnam
Tribhuvana kamanam tamalavarnam
Ravikara gauravara ambaram dadhane
Ravikara gauravara ambaram dadane
Vapuralaka kulavritananabjam
Vapuralaka kulavritananabjam
Vijaya sakhe ratirastu me navadya.
Vijaya sakhe ratirastu me navadya.
Word for word meaning translation purport by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Tribhuvana.
Tribhuvana.
Three statuses of planetary systems.
Three statuses of planetary systems.
Kamanam.
Kamanam.
The most desirable.
The most desirable.
Tamala varnam.
Tamala varnam.
Bluish like the tamala tree.
Bluish like the tamala tree.
Ravikara.
Ravikara.
Sun rays.
Sun rays.
Gaura.
Gaura.
Golden color.
Golden color.
Varambaram.
Varambaram.
Glittering dress.
Glittering dress.
Dadhane.
Dadhane.
One who wears.
One who wears.
Vapuhu.
Vapuhu.
Body.
Body.
Alakakula avrita.
Alakakula avrita.
Covered with paintings of sandalwood pulp.
Covered with paintings of sandalwood pulp.
Amana abjam. Anana abjam.
Anana abjam.
Face like a lotus.
Face like a lotus.
Vijaya sakhe.
Vijaya sakhe.
Unto the friend of Arjuna.
Unto the friend of Arjuna.
Ratihi astu.
Ratihi astu.
May attraction be reposed upon him.
May attraction be reposed upon him.
May.
May.
My.
My.
Anavadya.
Anavadya.
Without desire for fruitive results.
Without desire for fruitive results.
Translation. Shri Krishna.
Shri Krishna
is the intimate friend of Arjuna.
Is the intimate friend of Arjuna.
He has appeared on this earth in his transcendental body.
He has appeared on this earth in his transcendental body,
which resembles the bluish color of the tamala tree.
Which resembles the bluish color of the tamala tree.
His body attracts everyone in the three planetary systems.
His body attracts everyone in the three planetary systems.
Upper, middle, and lower.
Upper, middle, and lower.
May his glittering yellow dress and his lotus face.
May his glittering yellow dress and his lotus face.
Covered with paintings of sandalwood pulp.
Covered with paintings of sandalwood pulp.
Be the object of my attraction.
Be the object of my attraction.
And may I not desire fruitive results.
And may I not desire fruitive results.
Yeah. So before we go to the purport written by Srila Prabhupada, let's look at the preceding shlokas before the actual stuti begins. So Bhishma Dev actually begins with advising Yudhishthira and answering questions that Yudhishthira had already posed. And after that, here is the two shlokas before the 32nd shloka, which we did yesterday. So the 30th shloka translates as follows. Thereupon, that man who spoke on different subjects with thousands of meanings and who fought on thousands of battlefields and protected thousands of men, stopped speaking, and being completely freed from all bondage, withdrew his mind from everything else and fixed his wide open eyes upon the original personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna, who stood before him, four-handed, dressed in yellow garments that glittered and shined. And in the 31st shloka, by pure meditation, looking at Lord Shri Krishna, He at once was freed from all material inauspiciousness and was relieved of all bodily pains caused by the arrow wounds. Thus, all the external activities of his senses at once stopped, and he prayed transcendently to the controller of all living beings while quitting his material body. So, we are always told that we should think about the Lord at the time of death. Here, Bhishma Dev is also demonstrating to us, just like Parikshit Maharaj, how to prepare oneself for death. He was awaiting death, and the Lord himself has benedicted him by appearing before him, which we will hear in the future shlokas, where he glorifies the Lord and he says, out of your causeless mercy only you are here. So let's look at the purport that Prabhupada writes for this particular shloka. When Sri Krishna, by his own internal pleasure, appears on earth, he does so by the agency of his internal potency. The attractive features of his transcendental body are desired in all the three worlds, namely the upper, middle, and lower planetary systems. Nowhere in the universe are there such beautiful bodily features as those of Lord Krishna. Therefore, his transcendental body has nothing to do with anything materially created. Arjuna is described here as the conqueror, and Krishna is described as his intimate friend. So one thing we need to remember is the Lord loves it when you describe him in association with his devotees. So, for example, he likes to be known as Gopinath, the master of the gopis, Radhanath, the master of Srimati Radharani. So the Lord always feels intense pleasure when you associate him with his pure devotees, and therefore his names are derived from his association with pure devotees. Therefore, his transcendental body has nothing to do with anything material created. Arjuna is described here as the conqueror, and Krishna is described as his intimate friend. Bhishma Dev, on his bed of arrows, after the battle of Kurukshetra, is remembering the particular dress of Lord Krishna, which he put on as the driver of Arjuna's chariot. While fighting was going on between Arjuna and Bhishma, Bhishma's attraction was drawn by the glittering dress of Krishna, and indirectly he admired his so-called enemy Arjuna for possessing the Lord as his friend. So this is not a feeling of jealousy. This is a feeling of admiration that Arjuna had so much devotion for the Lord that the Lord was there as his friend. Arjuna was always a conqueror because the Lord was his friend. Bhishma Deva takes this opportunity to address the Lord as Vijaya Sakhe, the friend of Arjuna, because the Lord is pleased when he is addressed conjointly with his devotees, who are related with him in different transcendental humors. While Krishna was the charioteer of Arjuna, sun rays glittered on the dress of the Lord, and the beautiful hue created by the reflection of such rays was never forgotten by Bhishma Deva. As a great fighter, he was relishing the relation of Krishna in the chivalrous humor. Transcendental relation with the Lord in any one of the different rasas or humors is relishable by the respective devotees in the highest ecstasy. So each rasa, you can experience this ecstasy. And Bhishma Dev's particular rasa with the Lord was of chivalry, wanting to fight with the Lord. Less intelligent mundaners who want to make a show of being transcendently related with the Lord artificially jump at once to the relation of conjugal love, imitating the damsels of Rajadhama. Such a cheap relation with the Lord exhibits only the base mentality of the mundaner, because one who has relished conjugal humor with the Lord cannot be attached to worldly conjugal rasa, which is condemned even by mundane ethics. So the rasa that the Lord enjoys with the gopis and Srimati Radharani is not the same that one experiences on a material, mundane platform in a relationship between a man and a woman. So that is the first thing we need to understand, that everything that Krishna engages in is transcendental. The eternal relation of a particular soul with the Lord is evolved. A genuine relation of a living being with the Supreme Lord can take any form out of the five principal rasas, and it does not make any difference in transcendental degree to the genuine devotee. So it's not that Bhishma Dev was clamoring to have the rasa of the gopis, or even to have the rasa that Arjuna was enjoying with the Lord. He was well established and perfectly comfortable in the rasa that he was enjoying with the Lord. Bhishma Dev is a concrete example of this. And it should be carefully observed how the great general is transcendently related with the Lord. So the rasa here is one of Virya ras. So it is very, very simple. Our mind should be attracted to Krishna. So you can see Bhishma Dev has shut down everything else and his entire focus has shifted to the Lord. So, for example, because we identify with the mind, we get caught up in a lot of other different activities away from Krishna. Here you can see Bhishma Dev is meditating on the Lord and preparing to leave his body. So Bhishma Dev is teaching us how to prepare ourselves. So Krishna's beauty is his internal potency, Prabhupada says. Therefore, even Krishna's beauty is not material, it is spiritual. So Bhishma Dev's attraction to Krishna's beauty also is transcendental. It is not a mundane attraction. And Prabhupada describes rasas as humors. Elsewhere, he would describe it as mellows. So this is very, very unique to bhakti. In Jnana Yoga, you don't have this rasa. In Dhyana Yoga also, you do not have this rasa unless you are really meditating on the Paramatma form of the Lord. So this rasas or mellow is very unique to bhakti. It is that flavor, that ananda flavor. It's being able to connect with Krishna on a personal level. So even a drunkard takes shelter of liquor. He finds happiness in liquor. Just like devotees find happiness in having a relationship with Krishna. The only difference is that even when the drunkard is suffering, he will drink. When he is happy, he will drink. So the drunkard is getting drunk because he is in denial of his suffering. Whereas a devotee is accepting the suffering also in that same rasa with Krishna. So whether it is happiness or distress, it really does not bother the devotee much. Their focus always and will continue to stay on the relationship with Krishna. So we also have to go beyond the rituals of chanting the 16 rounds, doing our Gayatri mantra chanting, observing the 4 regulative principles. We have to deepen our relationship with Krishna such that we can always remember him. We should always be able to meditate on Krishna. And meditation begins with hearing, Shravan. In the Uddhava Gita, actually in the 11th canto, Krishna tells Uddhava that the mind is like an actor. It is absorbed in the drama, the actor, and the acting. So all the mind has to do is completely detach itself from what it is witnessing. So although it is not real, what is happening to us, right? But the mind accepts everything to be real. The happiness, the suffering, everything is experienced as real. Actually, it is said, when an actor is on a stage, It is the audience that enjoys it more than the actor himself or herself, because the actor is simply focused on delivering his lines, exhibiting emotions as necessary to make that play more impactful. So I'm sure all of you know, when you go and watch a movie, your mind is completely absorbed in the movie. And that is why the theaters are very dark. Only the screen is visible to you. You can't see anything else. And therefore, your mind is just completely focused on the movie, and you get carried away with what the movie and the screen is depicting. So, in this way, Krishna is saying we are allowing our mind to suffer endlessly and needlessly, because we subject our mind to so many different material things. And therefore, in the 11th canto, the 23rd chapter, the 42nd shloka, there is a very nice shloka where the Avanti Brahman is lamenting the fact that he had all success and all opulences, which he ultimately loses. And he comes to the conclusion that it is actually the mind that is the problem. So in this shloka, it goes as follows. Nayam jano me sukha dukkha hetuhu na devatatma graha karma kalaha manaf param karanam amananti samsara chakram parivartayed yat. So this shloka translates as follows, where this Avanti Brahman is saying, these people are not the cause of my happiness and distress. Neither are the demigods, my own body, the planets, my past work, or time. Rather, it is the mind alone that causes happiness and distress and perpetuates the rotation of material life. So, the challenge that we face in our life is that we allow our intelligence to become the lawyer for the mind, defending everything that the mind proposes to us. So, whatever the mind desires, the intelligence, as the attorney for the mind, is able to justify to us as to why we should follow the dictates of the mind. But we have to understand that the mind is actually the cause of all of our suffering. So, if the mind is dovetailed to the lotus feet and the shelter of Krishna, then we will not experience that kind of duality. So in the material world, Krishna has already said it is dukkhalayam ashashvatam. It is filled with suffering. It is temporary. And on top of that, the mind adds to that suffering. So it's like suffering multiplied many times over. First of all, taking birth itself is suffering. And on top of that, your mind subjects you to so many different experiences, which are also adding to your suffering. So we have to detach ourselves from our mind. So, for example, here, Bhishma Dev is clearly thinking about the Lord, meditating on the Lord, meditating on the Lord's relationship with Arjuna and vice versa. And he has understood here that without Krishna, we are always going to suffer. So without Krishna, our life is empty, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says in the Sikshastakam, that yugayitam nimeshena chakshusha pravishayitam. Even a millisecond without Krishna is like many, many years. So this kind of suffering that we inflict on ourselves can easily be relieved if we focus on our mind on manmana bhavamakto. When the Lord says, always think of me, always remember me. That's exactly what Bhishma Dev is doing. He's preparing himself to leave his body by meditating on the form of Lord Vishnu.
If you like our videos, please subscribe to our channel and turn on the bell notification. If you'd like to join our classes every day, please check the details in the description section of this video. We look forward to serving you.